Hi there, first graders. Let's make a flip book of the phases of the moon together. This is what it's going to look like at the end. And when you flip through it, you'll see the phases of the moon in order. Okay, so you have this in your science folders, and this came, I think this came in the last packet. Can't be sure, but I think this came in the last packet. So it looks like this, and there are two sheets. So you'll need this, you'll need a stapler, and you'll need a pair of scissors. So why don't you pause the video if you need to go grab those materials, come back and restart it. I'm going to get started now. So first graders, this first sheet is your reference. The phases of the moon are in order here, and you're going to need to reference this when you put the pages of your book together. My copy did not really copy that well. I don't know how yours was. I don't know if you noticed that this is sort of looking like not a full moon. I colored it in with a pencil, and now I think I should color it in with a crayon. This should be a full moon, that first one on this page. And let's get started with assembling the book. Put this to the side, you'll need it in a few moments, and cut these out. These are the pages to your book. So just cut really carefully on the lines. You want to really have straight lines so the pages line up. So don't rush through this. Really make sure you're on the line, you're cutting straight. Once you have all of the pages cut out, then you're going to go back to that other page to put the pages in order, the one I first showed you. All right. I always go around the perimeter, the outside edge, before I cut the individual pieces out. Whatever I'm cutting, I always end up cutting it like this. Okay. Cut, 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 cut. I wish I could push fast forward, because you really don't need to see me cutting all of these out, but maybe you're cutting along with me. Okay, so I'm going to move the scraps out of the way. They'll be in the recycling bin in a little bit. And then I'll cut around the perimeter again, and then the pages. And then we can start putting them in order. Okay, now my line isn't very clear. Let me make sure these are going to be the same. All right, I have to imagine an imaginary line. See that, first graders? There's not a line on the left. Oh, maybe I'm out of view of the... So I'm just going to make a little pencil mark. So I hope yours copied better than mine. So if yours doesn't have a line on one side, I'm just taking a page that I've already cut out, lining it up with the top one, the top line right here at the edge of the cut page, and making a little pencil line on the side. I can do that a couple of times down my paper, and then I can just take a straight edge and draw the line. What do I have that will be a straight edge? I've got a book. Nope, I don't want to use the book. It's not long enough. I'm just going to use some paper. Just a pack of paper I had here. I just line up the paper with those two guidelines that I made, and then just put a straight line down. I think that's going to be just fine. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, back to cutting. I hope you had that line. If you didn't, or you don't, I hope that little fix helped you to fix yours. You want your pages to be the same length initially, but we do have to trim them after we put the pages together so you can flip the book easy. The pages have to be kind of layered. almost there, and then we can start assembling the book. So I'm going to suggest, and I won't be able to show you this entirely. Oops, last little snip and I tore it. I would lay out all of the pages that you just cut out. You're not going to be able to see all of mine. Oh, my dog is barking. We'll just pretend that's not happening. Okay, so you can have all these pages laid out just like this. And then you're going to reference this and put your pages in order. This first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. Okay, so I'm going to look for the new moon first. Here it is. Okay, moon to the right of that rectangle. Okay, the next one is the waxing crescent moon. Okay, I have to find that. Just match it up. Let's see. Is that the same? That's the same. All right, so this one goes under my full moon, okay? Making a stack. I'm gonna set it to the side and look for my next one, the first quarter. Boy, there must be somebody in my driveway to have my dog barking so much. Okay, do they match? First quarter? Remember we talked about that in the book? The first quarter is the first quarter of the phases. The cycle of the phases, not the way the moon looks. That's confusing. Okay, so this goes on the bottom of my stack. Okay, I should have all these turned this way because the moon should be on the right side of the page. Okay, next, waxing gibbous. Match it up. They're the same. And then I put it under my stack. The full moon is next. That one's going to be easy. Here it is, easy match. Okay, then I put that under my stack. Go back to my reference. Am I going too fast for you, first graders? I hope not. Waning gibbous is the next one I'm looking for. And that's a match, these two. And my dog is still barking. Okay, under it goes. Two left. The second quarter and the waning crescent. Okay. Second quarter right there goes under my stack. And then the last one should be the waning crescent. And it is. Okay, I'm done with this for now. And I've got my stack. Okay, all together. Does your stack look like mine? In order? Okay, so take a look at my finished book and see how each page is a little bit longer than the next. We have to create that with our newly cut pages and stack. So this is the tricky part, but if you need help from a grown-up, go get it, but try it on your own. You have to open up the pages so it seems like they're getting longer at the bottom. So I just kind of do this back and forth. And this is where it's tricky, but you can also ask a grown-up to help you. You can also take a look and see what's happening. Do you see how I'm starting to get pages that look like they're longer at the bottom? And when you flip this over, first graders, you're gonna see that it's happening over here as well. We're gonna cut that off at some point. So just think about this side. And when you can also check it out to see if it works. I think my pages could be further apart. So I'm just gonna do this again. And see how it makes my pages go further apart. You can also just do it by sliding them a little bit. So you just have to work this a little bit on your own to make sure that you can flip the book because these pages appear to be getting longer at the bottom. So I'm just going page by page and kind of opening up. I'm pushing this, sliding this back and forth, just so there's room between the ends of the pages. So really taking my time with this. I want you to do the same. And if you need a grown-up or a bigger kid's help, you can always get them. Don't get frustrated. If we were doing this in the real classroom, I would be helping all of you that needed help. And I bet some of you would need it. Okay, I'm getting pretty satisfied with how that looks. Do you see that, first graders? I'm trying to have you see how my pages appear to be getting longer. But remember, it's also happening on the other side, and we're going to cut that off. So when you get it to the place that you feel like you're really happy with how this is fanned out at the end, put a staple, turn this over, and staple it right inside this last page, right inside the edge of that last page. Let's see. My stapler doesn't always work. Oh, it worked this time. Okay. So now we don't have to worry about the pages slipping and sliding. Then come with a pair of scissors and just cut everything to the right, all of this. The page, that last page, you don't have to cut that last page, but that's where you're going to cut, right along the edge of that last page. Okay, just gives a nice clean edge. And there you have it. There is your flip book. And you can flip through all of the phases of the moon. First graders, this is technically the cover of the book. You could cut this out and staple it to the cover, staple it to the top of your book to give it a title. Up to you. We're going to do other crafts and other projects with the phases of the moon